Welcome back here for the PSCL at Palm Springs Stadium. Another wonderful day of play. We just saw a pretty good one between the Bombers and the Chill, where the Bombers came up very well, 9-4 over the Chill earlier today. And right here in this game, we've got another pretty good one as we're getting closer to the end of this PSCL season. At the end of this PSCL season, we're here. My name is Justin Lee alongside Zachary Durham here in the press box at Palm Springs Stadium. Sorry about the quick mic change. Had to pull the music that we have playing here at the stadium. Two-man crew upstairs. Here's a first pitch, though, to start things off here between the A's and the Haymakers. It's a ball outside for Gianni Brzesko. Starting off here for the Haymakers. Right behind him, Ray Martinez and Jace Carey will be in the 1-2-3 spot here. We'll talk about the rest of the batting order in just a second. Next pitch is outside for ball two. There is a new pitcher pitching for the first time here for the A's. It's David Reckers from Colorado Mesa, junior, 5'11", 210 pounds, righty thrower. His previous school, Solano Community College. He made 4 appearances this year, starting 1 game with a 7.50 ERA this year for Colorado Mesa. And he comes in here to help the A's get their final push, getting closer to the final top 4 of the PSCL standings, as that one's in there for strike 2 of the count. So Gianni Brzesko's got a 2-2 count right now. Leading off right here, Brzesko's been very good. 375 this year, 2 doubles, 1 triple, and 6 singles on this towards this last stretch of PSCL games. There's only 3 days left of PSCL games before we get to the final July 4th All-Star game, and then the PSCL playoffs will start off right after that. Every team gets in. The top first seed gets a bye. Here's the 3-2 payoff, and it's just outside for ball 4.
Yeah, good at bat to start out this ball game for Gianni Brzesko, seeing a lot of pitches and earning the walk as he trots down to first to set up the rest of the lineup for the Haymakers. On the year, they have a record of 5-7-1, trying to get back into the winning ways. 5-9-1, whereas the A's are 11-5 in 3rd place of the PSCL, trying to secure one of those top 3 seeds.
This first pitch here is in for strike 1 here to Ray Martinez with a man at first already. So here's an interesting thing about the pitcher Reckers on the mound. He's actually originally, he played in the Pioneer League and also with Lexington in Atlanta. As they throw over to second, the ball pops out of the glove of the A's shortstop Fontenot, and this will give 2 bags and 180 feet from first base to third. Now Gianni Brzesko is over at third.
Yeah, aggressive base running, trying to get into scoring position early, and it results in an errant throw. He's now 90 feet away from scoring the first run of the ball game.
It's a 1-1 count here. Reckers is considered a professional player already. He's here just getting some extra play time. He was born in November 22nd, 1999. So this is our age group right here, Zach. As that one gets over the head of the second baseman Cards, this will score the first runs of the game. So the Haymakers striking fast and early already.
Yeah, fast start for the Haymakers, who offensively have not been able to put up as much runs per game as some of the other teams in the PSCL. They're trying to rectify that here early as they're already on the board.
Against one of the better teams this year in the A's, who are just right up there in the standings. They're sitting at 3rd place right now with the 11-5 overall. The Haymakers just fighting for their lives to get any better seeding right now. They sit at the here 1-0 count to Jace Carey, who is serving in right field today. Runner goes, and a very good jump from Ray Martinez. No throw over. He's got a stolen base.
Yeah, and these runners for the Haymakers recognizing the long delivery from Reckers to the plate, taking advantage of it. Already 2 stolen bases on both runners that have reached base.
Jace Carey didn't have to do too much to advance another runner over. It was all from Ray Martinez. Here's the 2-0 count and a big swing and a miss from Jace Carey to make it a 2-1 count.
Yeah, 90 miles an hour right down the middle, just challenging the right fielder for the Haymakers to put the ball in play and beating him.
2-1 count on the way here from Reckers. It's in the dirt to make it a 3-1 count. So a leadoff walk and then a stolen base, a pass ball from the throw by the catcher Kakuta behind the plate, and then a single to score the first runs of the game from Ray Martinez. He's at second base right now. And Jace by Carey with a 3-1 count here in this situation. Here's the next pitch on the way. It's taken and floated to left field, but just out of play down that left field side in front of the A's bullpen.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of soft hit line drives or pop flies down in that area, very shallow left field behind third base. That's kind of no man's land. We've seen a lot of balls land in that part of the field and cause some trouble.
3-2 payoff. Another foul ball, line driven over the grandstands and out of play. So 6 pitches so far for Jace Bikier, who's having himself a very good season this summer. Usually plays behind the plate, but today he's in right field.
Yeah, he's got a good throwing arm. He's thrown out some runners on the bases. No reason to see why he can't do it out in right field.
And he floats one in there and watches it for strike 3. Jace Bikier goes down on a strikeout looking. There's the first out of the ball game.
Nasty breaking ball, backdoor slider from Wreckers, just absolutely dotted up on the bottom left corner away from Baikari, the left-handed hitter, for the first out.
So here's the next batter up. Owen McGood, number 29, first baseman today, as he takes a big hack and misses and comes up empty. 0-1 count. Right behind him would be Trey Quezada at first base. Nathan LeBeau in the 6th spot, the extra hitter. Dominic Tomasi at third base today in the 7th spot. Evan Percival in the 8th spot at catcher. Seth Bryson, number 32. The DH in the 9th spot, and then Aiden Holcomb at left field in the 10th spot. There's a runner going and a swing and a miss from Owen McGuinn. No throw as the ball got away from Kakuta. Another 90 feet for Ray Martinez.
And Martinez already has 2 stolen bases and an RBI single. It's about as good of a start you can have for a player and the top of the first.
He's the second base runner already, threatening here early against the A's, who have not been able to find themselves in close games. Here's the next pitch on the way, and swing on, miss, drop third strike. Kakuta checks at third, throws to first base on a really low ball, and it looked like it lost control, but he's able to recover at first base as Braga to get the out.
Oh, nice play defensively from Braga over there, just saved a run. The throw from Kakuta, not as strong as it should have been as it skipped into the dirt. Braga's able to hold on to that soft hop and get the second out.
So it'll be Trey Quezada now with 2 outs, a man at third. 1-0 the score already for the Haymakers here early, who are 5 for 5 of their last 10, and they're 5-8-1 on the season. First pitch swinging and missing is Trey Quezada for an 0-1 count. And this year, the Haymakers, when they're on the home side, they're 0-5-1. But when they're on the away side, they're 5-3. Hopefully those numbers do matter. And right now, they are leading by a single run early. Next pitch misses for ball 1, 1-1 count.
Yeah, back-to-back 91-mile-per-hour fastballs from Wreckers. The first one right over the heart of the plate. Second one misses inside, just falling over on his release point to the glove side of the pitcher, leaving that inside to Quezada.
1-1 on the way. And it looked like it was right down the middle and just missed by a smidget of an inch below the knees. It's ball 2, 2-1 count.
Yeah, Trey Quezada is one of the tallest players in the PSCL, so that pitch to most people is right at the knees, but for the tall lefty, that's going to be a ball low.
2-1. Inside too much. 3-1 count for Trey Quezada. And this is where the Haymakers can try to take advantage of a weakness, it seems like, for the A's this season. They're on the home side, they're 6-1. Away, they're 4-3. But the last games, they've kind of dropped the last 2 against different teams. But it's also been a weird string of events. As that one's driven to right field in the corner, it already scores a run. It's 2-0 off the RBI single from Trey Quezada on a 3-1 count.
Nice piece of hitting right there. Pitch at the top of the zone. He just goes after and gets it. Shoots it into right field for the second run of the ball game.
So 2 hits, 2 runs already, 2 outs. Thanks to Trey Quezada and Ray Martinez as he scores a second run, 2-0 already for the Haymakers in the top of the first. Here's Nathan LeBeau. First pitch in there for strike 1. So early on, this is where we've seen the A's as of late having a few struggles. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Nathan LeBeau. He does not get that one. It's 0-2 count now. And so for the A's in the last couple games, they had Makoa Death complete a game, but he lost that one. Then they had Hudson Myers. He came out in the second inning with an injury, and the rest of the pitching couldn't hold up the rest of the team as it falls in for 1-2 count outside in the dirt.
Yeah, we know this A's team probably has the most complete lineup top to bottom when it comes to the bats, and how many different guys throughout that lineup can get you a base hit when you need it most. But you're right, it has been the amount of arms that have been available to get them through this season that has been the Achilles heel for the A's.
Swing and a miss for strike three. They takes down and leaves a man at first base as Reckers gets out of the inning, but the Haymakers have brought it up 2-0 very early in the top of the first. We'll be back here for the PSCO.
Like a family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
Back here for the PSCL, my name is Justin Lee alongside Zachary Durham here at Palm Springs Stadium for the Haymakers and the A's. The Haymakers already went up 2 runs already off of a pitcher's making his debut this season, David Reckers. He gave up 2 hits, a walk, and threw 3 strikeouts. But those 2 hits knocked in 2 runs for the Haymakers. Are up 2-zip. And up against Augie Cowan is the starting pitcher for the Haymakers. This is what the lineup looks like for the A's. It's Derek Thompson Jr. to lead it off. Braden McLean in the second spot. Braden Braga in third. Jeffrey Fontenot in the fourth. Blake Browning in the fifth. Ethan Beltran in the sixth spot. Gilbert Cosio in the seventh spot. Andrew Carson eighth. Ariel Chandler in the ninth. And Dylan Kakuta at 10, starting catcher. First pitch in there for ball 1 here to Derek Thompson Jr., who's leading off.
Yeah, Derek Thompson Jr. has been cemented as the leadoff hitter for the A's. He gets the bar, he sets the bar high for the hitters behind them, I should say.
That one's outside for ball 2. The A's have a total of 5 All-Stars in the All-Star game here for the Power this July 4th. Jeffrey Fontenot, Braden McLean, Derek Thompson Jr., like we talked about, Braden Braga, and then pitching for them would be Brandon Makoa Death for the A's in the All-Star game. So they'll be featured on July 4th, which should be a very good game. 3-0 count here for Derek Thompson Jr.
Yeah, he's got a 308 average of 460 on base. He's also stolen 4 bags.
Next pitch, right in there for strike 1 on the 3-0 count.
We've seen that a lot in the PSCL, a 3-0 count, hitters showing bunt to try to deter the pitcher. Was unsuccessful there.
That one, it just misses upstairs for ball 4. It looked like it didn't really miss by much, but there's a walk there to lead off for Derek Thompson Jr. So he's on first base. And the crazy thing is that the A's have 4 All-Stars in the top 4 spots of the batting order. Like we talked about, Derek Thompson, who led off, Braden McGlynn, Braden Braga, Jeffrey Fontenot. So this team is littered with All-Stars from throughout this season. And there's a lot of good power, not just behind them as well. There goes Derek Thompson Jr. on the first pitch. It's in the dirt, no throw over. He's got a stolen base.
Yeah, right on cue, getting on base to kick off the A's offensively, and then waste no time stealing second and getting in scoring position for Braden McGlynn, who's been one of the best hitters, not just on his team, but across the entire PSCL.
20 hits, the most on the team this year. Right behind him would be Jeffrey Fontenot, as the next pitch is delivered for strike one, 1-1 count. And McGlynn has been the top scorer for the team, 14 RBIs this year, 4 stolen bases, 4 doubles, a staple for this A's lineup. 1-1 on the way, and it's dropped in. It gets away from the catcher, Percival. He will not throw to third base as Derek Thompson Jr. moves another 90 feet.
Yeah, and it looked like he was moving on that pitch anyways. The ball in the dirt gives it no chance for a throw. So he's already 90 feet away from scoring. And McGlynn, one of the better hitters situationally, has a good chance to cut this deficit in half for the A's early.
Cowan sets up. 2-1 is the count. He delivers. And pieced up and fouled off for a 2-2 count. Cowan this year has played in 4 games. He started 2 of those games this year. Hasn't exactly had the most perfect of seasons this year, but has an ERA of 11.77 against 70 different batters. He struck out 13 of those batters this year. He's going to have his work cut out for him against the top 4 batters of this order right here, and he's already got a full count with Braden McGlynn working it up.
Yeah, it's got to be tough for any pitcher going up against the A's to see Thompson Jr., McGlynn, Braga, Fontenot, and Browning for the top half of the order for the A's.
Here's the pitch on the way. Grounded down to second base. It should score a run, but it gets away from the second baseman Martinez as it just pops out of his belly. And on board will be Braden McGlynn with an E4.
Yeah, that ball just ate up Martinez over there at second. Looked like a routine play. Would have been a RBI fielder's choice for McGlynn. Instead, it's just an E6. Doesn't get the RBI, but Derek Thompson Jr. does come around to score as it's now 2-1.
So the A's answer back with their run of their own in the bottom of the first, 2-1, as the first pitch was delivered for strike one here to Braden Braga. Another dangerous A's hitter, part of this batting order. And then you just got to watch out for Jeffrey Fontenot, who can absolutely unload on teams. And he's got speed on the bases, too, as they check over at first base with Braden McGlynn still staying there. So already an entertaining first inning for both teams so far, as the A's try to unload and get back those 2 runs that David Reckers gave up, as the next pitch misses low for ball 1 of the count.
That was not a bad spot to miss at. Breaking ball low and away. You could see Braga thought about offering, but good patience to hold up.
1-1 on the count. That's grounded and picked up by Tomasi. He throws to second, and it gets away from the second baseman. It looked like it was just wide of his glove as he reached out for it, and it rolls into the outfield. Everybody is safe.
Yeah,
so
just another unfortunate play from the middle infield for the Haymakers. Looked like they could roll a double play ball. Instead, they get another guy on base from an error.
So quickly, 2 mistakes has men at first and second. Braden McGlynn at second and Braden Braga at first base already here. And here is the dangerous hitter in Jeffrey Fontenot. Right behind him, Blake Browning and Ethan Beltran will be awaiting. The 2 big power hitters for the A's batting order. And this team, like we talked about, just riddled with dangerous bats almost everywhere, up and down. 1-0 count already to start for Jeffrey Fontenot, and if he gets on base, he can move very quickly. And he goes after the first pitch to right field. It will just stay up in the air by Carey as he makes the catch.
Yeah, good swing. 85 off the bat of Fontenot. Just hits it right to Bakari, the right fielder. One of those at-bats where you know you had a good swing on it. You did everything you can do. Just the baseball gods keeping you from getting a base.
So a good first out and a crucial one here in this situation to keep the A's at bay as they're trying to answer back to giving up 2 runs in the top half of the first. Still 2-1, 1 out. Here is Blake Browning with a man at first and second. There goes the runners. The ball's in the dirt. No one's going to challenge. Percival doesn't make a throw anyway, so everyone else moves over 90 feet. Another pair of stolen bases. They get the double steal. So now there's 2 men in scoring position for Blake Browning with 1 out.
Yeah, both teams being very aggressive on the base paths. 4 stolen bases already here in this inning for the A's. And the Haymakers had 2 of themselves in the top of the first.
It's a 2-0 count here right now in this situation. Man at second and third. The pitch, Browning able to get with the end of the bat. Fouls it off for a 2-1 count.
Yeah, Browning just got a piece of that. He was way out in front of that offering from Cowan.
Browning this year has shown off his power. He already has 2 home runs this year, which is right there for the top spot of most home runs in the PSCL. 13 RBIs, 7 singles, 3 doubles. One swing of the bat here can change things for the A's as he watches a breaking pitch float right into the heart of the strike zone for a 2-2 count.
Great spot for that breaking ball from Cowan away from the righty Browning, so he had no interest in offering it that pitch.
It'll be a 2-2 count here. The man at third is McGlynn. Second is Braga. On the way as Browning watches it again, but it drops lower in the strike zone. Misses for ball 3. Another full count here. This is the second batter that it has worked it up to a full count. Browning right now recognizing that he just needs to get the ball in play. He's got his hands choked up on the bat halfway through on that lower third. Payoff pitch on the way. That just misses upstairs for ball 4.
Not a bad spot to miss if you're Augie Cowan. That one looked like it was right on the edge. Just unable to find the corner.
So very quickly here, the A's have cut the lead of the Haymakers very fast. And now they have the bases loaded with 1 out here against Augie Cowan. Ethan Beltran steps in. He delivers. First pitch, misses low, another breaking pitch.
Yeah, we talked about the top 5 of this A's lineup from Thompson Jr. all the way down to Browning, but Ethan Beltran is another hitter that could be included in the bulk of that lineup.
He checks swings. Look almost like he went around, but the base umpire appeal says he doesn't. So he's got a 2-0 count here. And
Yeah.
Ethan Beltran has a triple and a home run this year. I'd like to talk about another dangerous hitter for the A's, and they're just riddled with all these really hot bats. Next pitch just missed the top outside corner for ball 3. So the A's on the verge of driving in another run to tie the ball game here in the bottom of the first. See if Ethan Beltran has a green light. He watches the next pitch. It's on the outside edge for strike 1.
Yeah, 80 right on the edge. You can see the middle infield, that double play depth for the Haymakers. Corners are playing halfway in.
3-1 on the way. And that drops in the ground. That ties the ball game. Immediately here in the bottom of the first. So the A's able to answer back to the Haymakers' first 2 runs of the ball game in the top of the first as they walk in a run here. Now they can take advantage with just a single out here, and the bases still remain loaded. And it could have ended 2 different times with the help of the defense. Just 2 errors in this half inning have not gone the way of the Haymakers, as they could have kept it essentially to an 0-2 ball game, but now it's tied 2 apiece for both teams, and the base is loaded for the A's, and they have an opportunity to bring it back in their favor.
Yeah, the A's still don't have a hit in this ball game. They have 2 runs, courtesy of a few walks and a couple of errors from the Haymakers pitching and defense. So this would be a perfect opportunity to get your first hit and perhaps blow this game open here in the first.
Here's Gilbert Casio, the designated hitter, another fairly good hitter in this spot, but he swings and misses on an early swing, and he does get a piece of it, but it's into the glove of the catcher, Percival, for a 1-1 count.
Yeah, that was a nice hack from Casio. Just a little out in front. If he sits back on that and makes contact, that's going to go a long way.
Casio is hitting .250 this year. Let's see if he can try to get some runners in, but he watches the next pitch outside for ball 2. The 2-1 count. So things off to a hot start between these 2 teams already. We expected this game to either just open wide open for one or the other team or keep it low scoring, but this has been the latter so far. 2-2 score, and that pitch marks the outside corner for strike 2, 2-2 count. There's just 1 out here in the bottom of the first. The bases are loaded for the A's, and Augie Cowan is trying to do his best to keep the A's from blowing this wide open. Two, set kick fire. Casio goes up in the air. It might be playable, but it's trailing away from the right fielder by Carey. He had no chance to make a play on that ball. Still remains a 2-2 count.
Yeah, good job from the hitter just to put the bat on the ball. That pitch was close enough that he could have been rang up. It looked like it was just above the zone, but close enough to potentially be called. So as he fouls that one off, he takes his time and thinks about how he can take that pitch and put it in fair play.
So 2-2 count. We rinse and repeat again with the bases loaded, 1 out. There goes Cowan, and Casio grounds at the shortstop. He makes a good play to throw to second, over to first. Down on the ground to make the out. A 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Keeps it a tie ball game at 2 apiece, as the A's answer back with 2 runs, but aren't able to blow it wide open. We'll be back here on the PSEL YouTube channel in just a few.
Somewhere down there is you. And just like us, you're an amazing Palm Springs vacation home. I bet we have a lot in common. Elevated, yet down to earth. A place to soak it up, sip it down, and make a splash. A place where staying in is even better than going out. Not just a place for visiting, a place for living in the moment. That moment when vacation dreams become reality. You're one of Palm Springs' best kept secrets. Let's show you off. Because you're so much more than just a home. You're a destination. You're an adventure. You're an idyllic escape. You're a happy place.
Need a garage door replaced or repaired? Then go to Overhead Door Company. We do it all. Repairs, service, new installs, retrofits, and more. For over 100 years, Overhead Door has been committed to bringing you the best in residential garage doors, commercial doors, openers, and accessories. Whether you need a stylish new garage door for your home, a more energy-efficient commercial door for your business, or a better integrated door system for your industrial application, remember, if you don't see the red ribbon logo, you are not getting the genuine, the original Overhead Door products and service you need. Look for the red ribbon for products that are reliable and safe. Our service technicians are trained, knowledgeable, and background checked. Our continued success is due to our exceptional employees. Call 760-772-3667. Overhead Door Company. We sell the best and service the rest.
Look out to the leader.
Here for the PSCL, it's the A's versus the Haymakers. We're through already the first inning. It took literally 30 minutes to get through that half inning, or that whole first inning. It's a 2-2 ball game. The Haymakers earned their way to score 2 runs in the top half, but the A's did not really need to earn as much, as they drew 3 walks and forced 2 errors on the defense before grounding into a double play to make it 2-2. And here in the top of the second, Reckers is still out there. He delivers a first pitch ball 1 here to Dominic Tomasi, who leads off for the Haymakers. Right behind it would be Evan Percival and Seth Bryson in the hole. So the 7, 8, 9 batters for the Haymakers here. 1-1 count as the next pitch was fouled off. Reckers sets, fires, delivers, and throws it in the ground right there. A 2-1 count.
Yeah, another late release point with that fastball. You could see him just trying to fully extend and put that fastball on the edge away from the right-handed hitter, just releasing too late on the glove side and nearly falling over on that release.
That just upstairs. Ball 3, 3-1 count here for Reckers against Dominic Tomasi in this situation. And Reckers has been a guy who's bounced around a lot of schools when he was playing. Cal State University, Bakersfield, Colorado Mesa, like we talked about, Solano Community College. Tomasi gets a piece of that pitch and he fouls it off to make it a full count here in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, looked like that got a piece of the home plate umpire as he walks that one off. He looks to be okay, just need a bit of a breather here.
It's a good thing that, because the base umpire, what's his name, Kevin?
That is Andrew down there.
Or the base umpire.
Oh,
not,
base umpire.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
That's Tyler is notorious for getting hit in the groin region, so probably a good thing he wasn't in that spot, because that could have been another bad situation for the family, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he decided to, well, I don't know what their schedule looks like, but he was behind the bases for that first game, and he came out unscathed. So most of the damage is being done to the home plate umpire here at Game 2 at Palm Springs Stadium.
Andrew hasn't been caught up in a lot of bad foul balls that have hit the umpire, so he's been pretty safe throughout most of the season. 3-2 count here with Dominic Tomasi, the payoff pitch here in the bottom of or top of the second inning. Pitch delivered. Tomasi comes up empty, swings and misses for strike 1, or first out of the inning.
Yeah, that bit of a pause in the game just played advantage to Reckers as he was able to just come out after a bit of a delay and pump 89 right past Dominic Tomasi for out number 1.
So Reckers, interestingly enough, already has 4 strikeouts, but he's given up 2 hits and a walk to score the first 2 runs of the game for the Haymakers. So not a terrible outing right here. Ball 1 outside.
That pitch count is getting up there. He's at 35 through an inning and a third. Obviously not through the Haymakers lineup for the first time just yet, but we'll see where that pitch count ends up as he does so.
And that one just misses as well. Ball 2 here to Evan Percival. So if you missed it in the bottom half of the inning, it was a walk and a lot of stolen bases from the A's. And then an error from the shortstop and the second baseman in tandem allowed a couple of runs to get by, and that's what the A's worked up to. It's a 2-1 count, though, here right now for Evan Percival. They left the bases loaded, though, for the A's, so already off to a pretty even start for both sides as the next pitch is fouled out by Percival.
Yeah, 2-2 ball game in the second. Haymakers have 2 hits. They've also committed 2 errors. Those deuces are wild here.
Yeah, straight 2-2-2 on the board for the A's right now. 2-2 on the way. Cuts inside and got a piece of Percival. He will walk to first base as he holds that left hip down the first base line. And you do not want to get hit by a fastball like that because Reckers has been reaching low 90s so far.
Yeah, that one was 90 at the hip.
Ouchies.
That can't feel good. He looks to be all right over there at first. Does Percival. He's on with one away.
So Percival gets a freebie here with one out. And Seth Bryson comes up in the designated hitter spot. Right behind it would be Aiden Holcomb in the 10th spot of the order. Man at first. First pitch delivered inside for ball one.
Yeah, you can see the different release from Rutgers out of the stretch. It's much quicker, obviously quicker, but the mechanics are just, there's a quicker pace to it. He's releasing the ball quicker. He's not striding as long. So it's a much different look and timing from Rutgers when he's out of the stretch versus when he's coming out of the windup.
Right now he's having some control issues with those pitches. The last two have been missing the outer edges, and this time he comes away with it, and Seth Bryson just fouls it off with a bit of a lazy swing, 2-1 count here.
And you can see there he went back to the leg lift. The first two pitches were kind of slide steps, and he was missing with that fastball. He goes with the leg kick, and he's able to put it over the plate, and he does it again here.
This just misses by a little bit above the strike zone. It's a 3-1 count now for Seth Bryson. So it seems like that leg kick is going to help him a little bit more in this situation. Maybe he'll use that more because he's behind in the count here and doesn't want to allow another base runner. But regardless, he does here with the next pitch. 5 pitches. It's a walk for Seth Bryson. He's on board.
Yeah, and I think he's trying to find where he's most comfortable, whether it's with that leg kick or not. He's been going back and forth, and he's been unable to settle on a consistent delivery. And I think that's why he's been walking into traffic here. A hit by pitch and a walk here with one out in the second. Brings out Jimmy Johnson to talk with his battery.
Now, we talked about it, too, with Rutgers' first appearance of the year. He suddenly just came out of the blue here for the A's, and he's up on the mound pitching here, so he's probably not used to that mound yet. Still trying to find that groove like Zach talked about. And with all the players and what we've seen so far here at the stadium, it seems like a lot of the infield players have been able to start getting used to the dirt. The pitchers have been able to get used to the mound, so they're a lot more settled in than most of the newer guys like Rutgers, who's showing up here today for his first start of the year. That's in the for strike one here. It's the next man up, Aiden Holcomb. He's got a man at first and Seth Bryson with a walk, and he's got Evan Percival with a hit by pitch over at second base. There's one out here. Next pitch and delivery just misses upstairs.
Righty arm warming up for the A's. That's Brandon McCoa Death down there.
Yeah,
He's been one of the star guys for their pitching staff all season long.
1-1 count, misses upstairs, 2-1. Yeah, McCoa Death, also selected to the All-Star game, has been basically the pivot joint for the A's so far. The last game he pitched, he went for the whole game, 7 innings through 133 pitches. So he's been on a long 5-day break, and he might make an appearance here today. The next pitch delivers for strike 2, 2-2 count here for Aiden Holcomb.
Yeah, and when he's on, opposing hitters are just not having a good time. McCoa Death, one of the, that was a shot off of the bat of Aiden Holcomb.
Yeah, that foul ball line driven into the stands, almost took the head off of Jimmy Johnson sitting down there as he puts his head down and bracing for that foul ball, and hopefully he is okay.
He says, I'm going to stand over here behind this net.
He moved over behind the net to get out of the way in case it happens again. Next pitch delivered, full count. I just love how that developed right in front of our eyes.
That's a smart man down there. That one was close off the bat of Holcomb.
He might need to put on a batting helmet right now. I'm not going to lie. 3-2 count payoff. Grounded up to Rutgers. He throws to second. They throw to first for a 1-4. Well, they call him safe at first. Excuse me.
It was a bang-bang play. Thought they got the double play to end the inning, but a nice hard 90 from Aiden Holcomb to beat it out at first as they're only able to get the runner at second.
I didn't know if you were going to say something about Jimmy Johnson there before I cut you off, but hey, look, he's going back to his position, though. So fielder's choice here with Rutgers getting the ball right back to him. He throws to second with good awareness to try to get out of the inning with a double play, but he comes up short. The lineup is flipped here We're back to Gianni Brasesco, who led the game off with a walk. He's already got a 1-0 count to start off with 2 outs here in this inning. There goes a runner and a throw over from Kakuta. It's in time and in there for the out. So that will end the inning as Aiden Holcomb gets caught stealing, and runner left at third base in Evan Percival. And it keeps it a 2-2 ball game as Rutgers gets out of a clean inning this time. We'll be back here on the PSEL YouTube channel in just a sec.
Jessup Auto Plaza has been proudly serving the Coachella Valley since 1938 as your trusted family-owned auto destination. Now, electrify your drive with the Valley's most extensive range of electric vehicles. Drive the Chevrolet Blazer, Equinox, Silverado, the powerful GMC Hummer, Sierra, and the distinctive Cadillac Lyriq. Silent power, bold performance. Electrify your drive. Jessup Auto Plaza. Since 1938, the EV brands you love, the family you trust.
Hey, Coachella Valley, Patrick Summers here, General Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Spring is here and summer is right behind it. Don't get caught with a broken air conditioning system. Call us now. Let us get a tune-up done. We're offering a special for $79. It comes with a seasonal guarantee. Call our team today. Get yourself scheduled before the heat hits. Be proactive, not reactive. Go ahead and book at callthegeneral.com or call our offices and we'll get you taken care of.
So we're through 1.5, still 2-2 ball game. A's come up empty in the top half of the second. Here in the bottom of the second, it will be the bottom part of the order. Carnes, Chandler, and Kakuta. 8, 9, 10 of the order as a first pitch delivered strike here to Andrew Carnes. And essentially the A's got the runs that they have on the scoreboard handed to them on a silver platter with those 2 errors and trio of walks, to work it up to a 2-0 ball game. So the Haymakers went up 2 in the top of the first, and then they gave up 2 in the bottom half of the first. So the A's here trying to take the lead. It's an 0-2 count already, though, for Andrew Carnes. Next pitch delivered in play. Tomasi makes a great scoop over to first for a good play.
That's why they call it the hot corner, hard hit ball right to the third baseman, Tomasi, who sticks a glove out and is able to snag it, fire a good throw down to first for out number 1.
Very good read there by Tomasi. It was pretty well hit on the ground, too, on that ground ball, but he's able to read it, target it, and pick that thing up. That's what we call very good hand-to-eye coordination on that play by Dominic Tomasi. Here's the next man up, R.L. Chandler. First pitch just outside for ball 1. And R.L. Chandler this year hitting a 154. Not a lot of hits so far this season. 2 hits with 4 runs. He's got a lot of speed, very good defensively, but just hasn't been able to really translate that to the offense side of things. He's got a 1-1 count here.
Yeah, and he'll come in late in games and close out on the mound. So a very versatile player for the A's.
Big off-speed pitch, and it caught R.L. Chandler swinging very early, 1-2 count. The catcher, Dylan Kakuta, is right behind him waiting, and then we'll flip the lineup over to the 1-2-3 hitters. Pitch on the way, another off-speed pitch. It got a piece, and it's missed for strike 3. So pretty quickly here, the first 2 outs, very different than what we saw in the bottom half of the first.
First strikeout of the game for Augie Cowan.
It's a 4-3 bottom 4 between the Blue Sox and the Bootleggers. The Blue Sox up by single run. So 2 games very close right now here at the stadium and the turf field. As the first pitch is delivered to Dylan Kakuta for strike.
He's been living on that breaking ball here in this second inning to get ahead of hitters, and it's been working.
0-1 pitch is delivered just upstairs for ball 1. Well, the Haymakers this year, they've had their ups and downs throughout the season. They're 5 for 5 of their last 10. They lost the last game yesterday. They're 5-9-1, third to last place. They still have a chance to move up a few spots, but they need help towards this last stretch of the season as the next pitch is delivered for what is to be a strike 2, 1-2 count. They've also been in some pretty close games. They just have not been able to finish those types of games against even really good teams as well this year. That one's grounded right between the 4-3 infield as the second baseman Martinez was way off from that middle spot of the infield. It allows the hit to get through on a 1-2 count. And that is the first hit of the game for the A's, surprisingly, who usually get things going pretty quickly with many hits.
It's like Logan LaBelle's pinch running for his teammate and fellow catcher Dylan Kakuta over there at first. So a courtesy runner on the base paths for the A's here.
Courtesy runner for the A's. Here's the top of the lineup in there for strike 1 here to Derek Thompson Jr., who stole 2 bases, scored a run on a walk. He's got a man at first with a 2-out single by Dylan Kakuta. And Logan Lobel takes over pinch running, so he can put on his gear to come up here in the top of the third inning. One count here to Derek Thompson Jr. They go to first base to check Logan Lobel. He stays back.
Similar situation to the Haymakers as far as how far they've gotten through their lineup. There was 2 outs when they got their leadoff hitter back hitting for his second time when a runner was caught stealing to end the inning.
That is just absolutely floated right down the gutter for a 1-2 count here to Derek Thompson Jr. So he's behind in the count already. 2 outs, man at first. The A's trying to get the lead here in this ball game early on, which has been a very slow-paced 1 inning and a half. There goes a runner as Derek Thompson Jr. just pieces it off for a foul ball, and Lobel will have to go back to first base.
Yeah, that's what you call a protective swing at the plate from Thompson Jr. Had no intention of trying to put a barrel to that ball, just getting a piece of it to fight in this plate appearance, see another pitch or a few. Good swing at the plate to stay alive.
Lobel dances at first base. See if he'll try to go again here. 1-2 once more. They deliver. And that is right in there at the outside edge of the strike zone for strike 3 as Derek Thompson Jr. goes down, striking out. So it'll keep it a 2-2 ball game. Scoreless both teams in the last 2 halves. As we're off to the third, we'll see if one of the teams can break through here for the PSCO.
Jessup Auto Plaza has been proudly serving the Coachella Valley since 1938 as your trusted family-owned auto destination. Now, electrify your drive with the Valley's most extensive range of electric vehicles. Drive the Chevrolet Blazer, Equinox, Silverado, the powerful GMC Hummer, Sierra, and the distinctive Cadillac Lyriq. Silent power, bold performance, Electrify your drive. Jessup Auto Plaza. Since 1938, the EV brands you love, the family you trust.
Hey, Coachella Valley, Patrick Summers here, General Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Spring is here and summer is right behind it. Don't get caught with a broken air conditioning system. Call us now. Let us get a tune-up done. We're offering a special for $79. It comes with a seasonal guarantee. Call our team today. Get yourself scheduled before the heat hits. Be proactive, not reactive. Go ahead and book at callthegeneral.com or call our offices and we'll get you taken care of.
Jessup Auto Plaza.
2 innings that we've gone through. It's still tied ball game 2-0 between the Haymakers and the A's. 2-2 is the score. Brandon McCoa-Death takes over for David Reckers, who threw for 51 pitches. Brandon McCoa-Death, the staple pitcher and the arm horse as he delivers her first pitch, and it's a line driver to right field. It's a leadoff hit for Gianni Brasesco.
And Brasesco wasting no time trying to figure out the arm slot, the velocity, the movement of Brandon McCoa-Death. He just slaps that first offering into right field for a leadoff single.
So first pitch, first hit here for Gianni Brasesco. Ray Martinez comes up to bat, and then right behind him would be Jace Bicari. Popped up in the air, but unplayable as it goes over our heads in the press box.
Ooh. That one landing not too far away, just to our right. Another first pitch swing from a Haymaker hitter against Brandon McCoa-Death. Representing the A's in the PSCL All-Star game. He was chosen as the team's All-Star pitcher. Yeah, we've seen a lot of softly hit fly balls into the shallow parts of the outfield. And you got to have a quick runner out there, particularly in center field, if you're going to track that down. And the A's arguably have the best defensive center fielder in the game with Derek Thompson Jr. out there, as he's able to track that one down with ease.
And McCoa-Death this year, 3 wins to 1 loss. Started 5 games. They checked the first base, no tag there. McCoa-Death with a 6.33 ERA this year. He's only given up 19 earned runs. 22 strikeouts. Good enough to be an all-star this year. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss from Jace Bicari.
That looked like a changeup that just dropped out of the strike zone. Fastball all the way to the lefty before it just spikes into the dirt and gets the right fielder for the Haymakers to chase.
And at the same exact pitch, gets Bicari to swing one more time. 0-2 count.
Yeah, same pitch. Took a little bit something off of this one. 74 versus 76 on the last one. So a couple off-speed pitches have him ahead in the count, 0-2.
They go to first, and they caught him up in the middle. It's Gianni Brasesco running back and forth now. They chase him down to first base, and they apply the tag with the throw over to the first baseman, Braga, to settle them down. So
textbook pickoff move from McCoa-Death. 0-2 count. The runner thinks there's no way he's going to throw to me. He's ahead 0-2. He's going to try to get this strikeout. immediate A move over to first base. Runner gets caught on the first move, and he's picked off on the bases. Now Makoa Death 1 strike away from a 1-2-3 inning.
They gave up the first hit to lead off for Brasesco, and now he's got 2 outs already. Trying to work it through cleanly here, and the first pitch is delivered outside for ball 1. Or excuse me, the third pitch 1-2 count here by Carey. So he can essentially put away the side here with the help of the defense, catching Brasesco in a pickle, and then Ray Martinez's fly out to Derek Thompson Jr. in left center field. One, two on the way. Driven to right field. Stays up and close enough to the right fielder, Browning, to make the final out. So very quickly, 1-2-3 inning essentially, even though there was a leadoff hit. But Makoa Death takes over and holds off the Haymakers. We'll be back here for the PSCL in just a few.
For 20 years, our family's mission has been simple. It all starts at Stuffed, where exceptional service meets bold flavors. Every crust, a masterpiece. Cocktails crafted to perfection in an atmosphere that brings family and friends together. Stuffed pizza, dine in or takeout. Savor and enjoy at our 2 locations. Quality, service, family legacy, it all starts at Stuffed.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
Monster Shakes, the best ice cream creations in the desert and only place in the world that serves all 10 flavors of Dole Soft Serve. The winner of the best soft serve and smoothies, home to the world's best date shake and other fun creations like ice cream nachos and the cotton candy burrito. For a limited time, come in and try your luck. Any soft serve that weighs exactly 16 ounces is free. Monster Shakes in Palm Springs and Cathedral City, facing the Mary Pickford. Franchise opportunities available too. Monster Shakes, a delicious mess.
Back here for the PSCL, my name is Justin Lee, alongside Zachary Durham here in the Agua Caliente Casinos booth at Palm Springs Stadium. We're here in the bottom of the 3rd inning between the Haymakers and the A's. Both teams struck early in the 1st inning, getting 2 runs each, but ever since then haven't been able to knock anything through. It's still early though, as the A's try to line up the bat, and the first pitch is lined out to left field, but out of play for Braden McLinn, my goodness.
Good swing. He liked what he saw on the first offering from Augie Cowan, just out in front of what looked like a changeup to start out this at-bat.
So the star-studded all-star part of the batting order coming up. Braden Braga behind, Jeffrey Fontenot in the hole. The next pitch delivered outside for ball 1.
Yeah, that one was a slider and just had a wicked amount of movement, breaking away from McLinn.
And McLinn, and including Brandon Braga, both reached on errors back in the bottom half of the 1st inning, as the next pitch is floated just above the head of Braden McLinn for a 2-1 count. It was a wild pitch. Still seems like a pretty tight game over at the turf field between the Bootleggers and the Blue Sox over there.
2 well-pitched ball clubs over there on that turf field.
That one's grounded down to second base. Good scoop up by Martinez. He throws the first for the first out.
Good job from Martinez to keep that glove down. It was a hard hit ground ball, 92 off the bat of Brady McLinn. Good job defensively to stick with it and get that first out of the inning. That's always the most important one.
Here's a Brandon Braga reached on an E5 error from the 3rd baseman. He steps in. See if he can try to get on board here to try to take the lead. The A's haven't led yet in this ball game, as the first pitch is delivered on the outside corner for ball 1. So both Augie Cowan and Makoa Death looking to face off of each other right now as Cowan's off to a good start with a ground ball force, and now he draws a strike on the outside corner on a swing and miss by Braden Braga, 1-1 count. Power plate tonight for Beer Tuesdays will be $3 beers as they face off against the Colton Nighthawks in another CPCL game. The next pitch is delivered for ball 2, 2-1 count. It will be Charlie Gonzalez and I on the call tonight. Charlie will be the play-by-play, I'll be the color. And if you're joining us this week, July 4th, make sure the game starts a little bit earlier than usual because of the fireworks spectacular, but should be a good one between the Power and the PSCL All-Stars. Next pitch, another swing and a miss on an outside pitch, 2-2 count.
Yeah, and we'll see this guy, Braden Braga, at the plate in that game. He's representing the A's as an all-star, as are a few other players. I think the A's and the Jacks are certainly sending more players to the all-star game than anyone else in the PSCL.
And for good reason, too, as the next pitch is delivered for ball 3, 3-2 count, full. The A's, Jacks, Bootleggers, they all hold the top 3 spots. Jacks in the 1 spot right now. The Bootleggers are trying to see if they can sneak into that 1 spot. All those 3 teams are fighting for that first round bye as the next pitch is in the dirt for ball 4. A full count walk to Braden Braga.
Yeah, 5 all-stars for the A's, 6 for the Jacks. Those are the top 2 teams with the most representatives. Bootleggers also have a 4. So 4 for the Bootleggers, 5 for the A's, and 6 for the Jacks. Those are the top 3 teams in the PSCL, with the Bombers right behind them.
And the Bombers just got a fairly big win today, 9-4 over the Chill earlier when we were on call here. As this was grounded, the second baseman cuts right around the runner as he throws the first. They get him there. It was a hit and run, so Braden Braga moves 90 feet. There's a second out, though, of the inning.
Yeah, and that's smart from Martinez over there at second, to knowing that the runner was going to second and it was going to be, you have to be perfect to get that out. Don't even bother. Just try to get the clean out at first for out number 2. It allows the runner into scoring position, but much rather take the out that you know you can get rather than try to steal an extra one.
Here's Blake Browning, who has been a very big power hitter for the A's so far. It looks like the Haymakers already have somebody warming up in the bullpen down the first base line.
You know, it's Nathan LeBeau getting loose for the Haymakers, usually first or second in relief.
Next pitch is floated right into the strike zone.
Good
Oh, wow.
breaking ball.
The Blue Sox just hit a grand slam over at the turf field. It makes it 8-3 over there. They're
That's how
playing.
you blow a game open right there.
Oh, yeah. 0-1 count here to Blake Browning. He's got a man at second, 2 outs. They check back. Augie Cowan doesn't like what he sees from Braden Braga, who has been dancing around at that second base bag and waiting for his opportunity to go steal third. And there goes Braga. The pitch is delivered. Cuts right in front of Braga, but he has a stolen base regardless.
Yeah, Tomasi not even close to getting to the bag to cover that.
He wasn't ready to get that throwback. That's Braden Braga's 6th stolen bag of the season now. Blake Browning now with a 1-1 count. Here's the next pitch. Sent to right field. Trailing over is by Carey, and it goes over his head into the corner. And that will score the leading run as an RBI double from Blake Browning puts the A's on top for the first time in this ball game.
Nice piece of hitting from Blake Browning. Fastball on the outer half, and that's where he puts it to right field. 90 miles per hour off the bat into the corner. Easily is going to allow Braga to score from third. But Browning is able to get the extra base hit, and it's a 3-2 ball game. A's on top for the first time.
So with one swing of the bat, like we talked about, and the second hit of the game for the A's, Blake Browning gets the job done, puts the A's on top. 3-2 is the score here in the bottom of the third. And that was Browning's 4th double of the year as he gets another crucial run to score. First pitch is in there for strike one here to Ethan Beltran.
Yeah, and how big was the decision to send Braga to second on that ground ball off the bat of Fontenot that allowed Braga to get in there at second safely without the Haymakers being able to turn an inning-ending double play.
Off-speed pitch causes Ethan Beltran to swing and miss. And if he didn't go on that run, he probably would have been caught up in a double play with the second baseman getting there in time. He just needed to flip it over and try to force a ground double play. But as it stands, it turned into a run, the leading run for the A's here.
Yeah, if that were the case, Blake Browning would have been leading off the bottom of the 4th inning. Instead, he drives in the go-ahead run with a double.
What ifs in every situation of this ball game? We've seen those many times. Mistakes always become the centerpiece of ball games, especially when it comes to playoffs and calling important games. That's exactly where that comes into play. 1-2 count here for Ethan Beltran, and the next pitch delivered upstairs. Beltran waiting for a good look from Augie Cowan. Cowan looks back at Browning. Browning steps back a foot into the glove. Oh, tipped it down on the ground. Still keeps the at-bat alive. So
Yeah, he just got a piece of that, somehow keeping the at-bat alive.
thought it looked like he caught it in the glove for a second there. But either way, 2-2 count once again. Cowan comes around. It's in the dirt. Percival keeps it in front, doesn't allow Browning to come through. So Ethan Beltran, who started off the at-bat with an 0-2 count, has worked it up to a full here.
Yeah, and he walked in his last plate appearance, so he is certainly capable of working an at-bat, making the pitcher execute a lot of pitches. And no better time to do that than with 2 outs and a man in scoring position.
Payoff pitch. Misses outside for ball 4. There's a second walk of the day for Ethan Beltran as he walks to first base with another freebie.
Yeah, good patient at-bat for him. He gets on with 2 away here, and Gilbert Cosio is going to come back up. He grounded into an inning-ending double play back in the first with the bases loaded.
That's the 5th walk that Augie Cowan has handed out today. So here's Cosio trying to see if he can reverse what he did in his first at-bat. First pitch floated in for strike 1. It was curving outside and came right back into the strike zone at the inside edge.
Yeah, nice breaking ball from Cowan to get ahead of the hitter. Trying to get himself a ground ball here.
2 outs, a man at first and second. The A's have the lead now, 3-2. Check swing, he keeps it right in front. The umpire calls for an appeal to the base umpire and calls it a strike. So it's an 0-2 count now for Gilbert Cosio.
Late appeal down there. Plays into the favor of the Haymakers. As Cosio's got to hunker down and battle here, now down 0-2.
Ethan Beltran had an 0-2 count, but worked it up to a full and then walked. So we'll see if Cosio can replicate the same thing. 0-2 on the way, just outside. Cosio looked like he wanted it for a second, but good eye to keep his bat right on his shoulder. Next man up would be Andrew Carnes right behind him. Wind's blowing from left to right field right now. You can see it from the outfield American flag as that one is sent flying out of the park.
Yeah, we've seen wind bounce around at this stadium. Sometimes it's blowing straight out into left field and will help carry a ball out. Sometimes it's blowing in from that left field position. And just like now, it's dying out as you can see that flag just drop.
Yeah.
So you never know where the ball is going to carry here at Palm Springs Stadium, especially on a nice day like this.
1-2 on the way. Floated, almost cut a piece of Cosio, but he turns the shoulder and makes it a 2-2 count.
The cloud coverage seems to have gone down a bit, at least over the field right now. During that first game, we saw a lot of spotty clouds that kind of darkened the field. We saw a pop fly get dropped, normally because of the sun, but earlier it was because of the clouds.
2-2, man at first and second, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Does not go around, full count. So Casio, just like Beltran, has worked it up to a full count on an 0-2 count.
Way to hold up at that pitch. He wanted to offer on that ball above the zone. Those look so enticing as a hitter. You just want to somehow get that bat up there and hit the top of the baseball for a line drive, but with 2 strikes and 2 outs, able to hold up to run the count full.
Payoff pitch and a big one here. Here's the delivery. It's in and out of the strike zone. That's a full count walk, and the bases are loaded just like that.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. Just off the edge of the plate. It was above the knees. Had the right height, just not the right angle to put it over the plate as the bases are now loaded for the A's.
The 3 walks in this inning already has a big swing and a miss from Andrew Carnes as he goes after that fastball, 0-1 count. The 3 walks, a single hit, and there were 2 outs earlier, or there is 2 outs in this inning, and they were brought in pretty early, but the Haymakers just haven't been able to get off the field yet. As the pitch is delivered on the outside edge, caught it up for strike 2.
Yeah, a bit of a pitcher's call right there. That ball looked like it was off the plate. And a similar pitch to that ball 4 to Cosio. Instead, this one's called for strike 2.
0-2 on the way, just outside.
Now 80 pitches on the day for Augie Cowan as he's still trying to record his 9th out.
Looks like they settled down the relief pitcher, Nathan LeBeau. He looks like he's ready to go score another run. This might be the last batter here for Augie Cowan. 1-2 count, 2 outs, bases are loaded. Sent up to the right field side, running in is by Carey. He's going to make a sliding grab. Does he? Oh my goodness, he makes the catch.
That's an El Paseo Jewelers web gem if I've ever seen one. With the bases loaded, coming in from right field, slide and get that glove on the ball to prevent at least 2 runs from scoring.
So a great catch in right field as Carey made the whole sprint to go get that ball, and he saves the lead from being increased for the A's. It's 3-2. They get the lead, but they're limited to just a single run with the bases loaded. We're off to the top of the 4th here on the PSCL YouTube channel. Three innings have gone by somewhat quickly, but it's a 3-2 ball game. The A's up by a single run after they scored off of a RBI double from Blake Browning. Next people up, 4, 5, 6, Owen McGuinn, Trey Quezada, and Nathan LeBeau. First pitch is in there for strike one to the relief man, Brandon Mc.
Yeah, that ball not hit too hard off the bat, but in the right spot out there in right field where Browning unable to track it, as you see him get turned around a couple of times before that ball dropped. So it's a leadoff double for Owen McGuinn as the tying run is already in scoring position to kick off the fourth.
Owen McGuinn, one of the All-Stars selected for the Haymakers. He's the only one playing in the lineup today. Jonas Ballesteros and Cipriano Rivera are the other two All-Stars selected for the Haymakers as they'll represent on July 4th. There's a first pitch on the way. Strike one to Trey Quezada, 0-1 count.
That changeup just got him way out in front. Big swing and a miss.
So the tying run is at second base already with a leadoff double here thanks to Owen McGuinn. And Trey Quezada trying to see if he can knock that run in. Next pitch catches up on the top left corner of the strike zone for strike two, 0-2 count.
That one right on the corner, up and away from the big lefty first baseman, who had an RBI single back in the first.
Delivered and grounded down to first base. Braga will take it himself, puts it at first to 3-U to take down Trey Quezada, but Owen McGuinn moves 90 feet closer to getting the tying run in.
Yeah, and that's what you call a productive out. Nobody out, runner on second. That ball needs to be put in play on the right side of the infield at the very least. And that's exactly what Quezada is able to do. And he allows McGuinn to get to third with less than 2 outs. So a sac fly will tie the ball game up.
Infield in. First pitch, swing and a miss from LeBeau. LeBeau looking like he might be the relief pitcher in just a second.
Trying to do himself a favor.
Grounded down and right through the infield. That ties up the ball game.
It's a nice, short, compact swing for LeBeau, and he shoots that 90 miles an hour off the bat with that RBI single to tie the ball game up.
And he put it right between the 5-6 hole where the infield was in, so nobody had a chance to back up and go get that baseball. And a good piece of hitting from Nathan LeBeau scores the tying run. We're back to 3-3. The next pitch delivered, ball one here to Dominic Tomasi, who comes up, man at first. And if you're just joining us, a leadoff double. And then scoring his own McGuinn off of the RBI single from Nathan LeBeau to make it a 3-3 ball game, as that one was roped down the third baseline but out of play by Dominic Tomasi.
Yeah, he jumped on that fastball middle, right over the heart of the plate, just out in front. If he's on time, that's either in the gap or shooting right back where it came from to dead center.
1-1 on the way. Tomasi very early going after that drop sinker pitch, it looked like.
Yeah, it looked like a curveball that just absolutely fooled Tomasi after seeing a fastball that he was early on. He gets a curveball and is just fooled.
1-2 count here. The man at first, he gets jammed up and somehow gets it through the third baseman, Beltran, and he's on board. Singles here for the Haymakers.
Yeah, the Haymakers have consistently been hitting the ball. 6 hits with 1 out here in the fourth. That's 4 more than the A's in this tie ball game. So getting base runners on has not been the issue for the Haymakers. It's just a matter of bringing them across to score, as the A's situationally have been able to get out of a couple of jams on the mound.
And this is where the Haymakers need to start picking up and thriving on. Their runners for are 83 this year. The runs allowed is a 112, negative 29 run differential this PSCL season. So next man is Evan Percival with 1 man out. 1-0 is the count with a man at first and second. Thanks to 2 back-to-back singles, both from LeBeau and Dominic Tomasi. They're at second and first, respectively. Makoa Death watches closely at Nathan LeBeau. He delivers. The ball gets away from Kakuta as he turns around, and everybody else moves over 90 feet.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate pass ball right there, as the double play, potential double play, is now wiped away, at least within the infield. And now in a tie ball game, there are 2 runners in scoring position for the Haymakers, trying to retake the lead.
Here's the next pitch from Makoa Death. He delivers in the ground as Kukut is able to scoop it up and stop the ball from rolling past.
So they got a base open here, so a walk isn't the end of the world, as it will create a force out at any base.
Pitch on the way. That's in there for strike 1.
We'll see if they continue to attack Percival. Might as well have after firing in a 3-0 strike.
3-1 comes through. It's grounded up in the air, chasing after it, and then bouncing up, and it gets away from the second base, or the shortstop Fontenot, and 2 more runs come through. Very tough play right there for Fontenot to make a play on, as the infield single allows 2 runs to get through, and the Haymakers, just like that, have the lead.
Yeah, that was a tough play. High chopping ball up the middle. Percival was running pretty hard. Would have been a bang-bang play, as Fontenot had to wait for that chopper to come back down before he was able to get a quick transfer throw. Bounces off his glove. Everybody's safe. 2-run score.
First pitch delivered for strike 1 here to the next man up, Seth Bryson. So that's 4 hits in this inning, couple of pass balls, and 3 singles back to back to back so far. Have scored 2 runs, including the tying run. And to make it a 5-3 ball game, the Haymakers back on top here in the top of the 4th inning. 1-1 count for Seth Bryson. Makoa Death kicks and fires. 1-2.
Good spot at the knees. 85 from Makoa Death. He got a ground ball, but did not take a good hop for his infield.
Bryson goes after a pitch right in the ground, and he goes down swinging.
It's a much-needed bounce back out for Makoa Death after giving up a couple of cheap runs on a ball that, hard to say that was an error, but a single that was not hit very hard brought in the 2 go-ahead runs. So a big out for Makoa Death to get that right away.
That pitch delivered for ball 1 here to Aiden Holcomb. We're at the bottom of the batting order now. If Holcomb gets on board, we flip the lineup for a 3rd time. This is popped up in the air towards right field. Browning chases, but he's not able to find it in time to chase it down, and that's another single. That's the 4th one of its kind and the 5th hit in this half inning.
Yeah, softly hit bloop single into right field. Browning not too eager to chase it down in front of him. He had a lot of ground to make up as he was playing pretty deep out there in right. But as Justin said, it's the 5th hit of the inning, 4th single, as the lineup flips over for the Haymakers.
Brzesko goes after the first pitch between the 5-6 hole, and there's another single. The 5th single knocked in as Makoa Death is having trouble controlling the Haymakers here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, he's throwing strikes, but the Haymakers are just putting the bat on the ball and going station to station. That's now 3 straight hits, as the Haymakers slowly but surely threatening here.
And that's the 2nd hit today. Johnny Brzesko is 2 for 2 with a walk and already has scored a run today. And here's Ray Martinez, the next man up. He's already got a single and an RBI. First pitch, no swing, but it catches the strike zone for strike 1. So the bases are loaded here. The Haymakers have already taken the game 5-3. They were down 3-2 to start it off. And then the next pitch is playable up in the air, trailing towards foul, and no one will get to it in time to make it an 0-2 count.
Yeah, I thought maybe initially Braga was going to be able to track that ball down, but it's slicing further and further away from him and closer to that mound out there in the visiting bullpen. And once it got to that part of the field, Braga put the brakes on. He wanted no part of that.
Yeah, we've seen some really interesting plays here this season here at the stadium as the next pitch is delivered for a 1-2 count. We've seen a few guys go after fly balls in the air. Either it would be in the bullpen or in foul territory, but a few times people have ran into that photography booth and really have taken one for the team, so to speak. As the next pitch is fouled off to Ray Martinez. He's still got a 1-2 count.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of effort on this field in general. Any ball, whether it's a fly ball on the warning track or a fly ball down the line in foul territory, you're going to see maximum effort from these outfielders and corner infielders trying to track them down.
This is playable, it seems like, down the right field side, racing for his life, but unable to go get it. Is Browning as it trails just foul. It almost looked like it was going to stay fair for a second, but a breath of fresh air for Makoa Death on the mound.
Yeah, and right on cue, a ball is hit down the line in right field, slicing away from Browning once again. This time, kicking into an extra gear that he maybe didn't know he had as he was moving down there, trying to track down that fly ball to end the inning, but instead, it's going to be Martinez who gets to see another pitch.
Well, you see Browning now closer to the right field line as the next pitch is delivered. Strike 3 looking for Ray Martinez. He goes down, and that will leave the bases loaded, stranding 3 runners. But the Haymakers have gone up with 3 runs, and they have taken the lead 5-3. We'll be back for the bottom of the 4th in just a few.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Across the Coachella Valley, you'll find our communities powered by short-term rentals. These rentals bring visitors and dollars to the region. Whether attending events, checking out the art scene, or dining at restaurants, when they spend money, we all score. The nearly $1 billion impact of short-term vacation rentals generates tax revenues that fund police, firefighters, education, and many other programs that improve our daily lives. To learn why short-term rentals are a grand slam for the home team, visit onecv.org.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Back here for the PSCL. It's the A's and the Haymakers going after each other as they continue to throw punches throughout the 3 innings and a half that we've watched. Here in the bottom of the 4th, it will be R.L. Chandler, Dylan Kakuda, and then Derek Thompson Jr. when we flip the lineup. And Augie Cowan still on the mound in his 4th inning of work. That's in there for ball 1. So if you missed it earlier, the Haymakers were down 3-2, and then they went for 6 hits in total, one of those being a double, and that scored 3 runs in the last half of the inning to make it a 5-3 ball game as the next pitch is delivered 2-0. So a pretty big hit party for the Haymakers in the top of the 4th. the A's now trying to bounce back and try to take back the lead. It is floated in there for strike one, 2-1 count.
Update from the turf field over there, 16-4 ball game.
Oh boy.
Blue Sox over the Bootleggers.
Now, the Bootleggers have been a pretty front-runner team so far this season. It's one of those rare times that they've been down by that many runs, it seems like. 3-1 count here to R.L. Chandler. They've also seen their fair share of their close games. They had a close game against the Bombers a few days ago where they lost, or the Bombers went up and beat the Bootleggers in sudden death as that pitch is delivered for strike two, 3-2 count. Payoff pitch on the way against RL. He pops it up in the air, but it's unplayable out of the stadium. So far, it's been kind of a weird figure on the scoreboard. The Haymakers have 9 hits, but only been able to score 5 runs. They have 2 errors. The A's have only had 2 hits. They've scored 3 runs so far. So a bit of a weird way to score those runs, but that is how it's been so far in this game. Another payoff pitch, but it misses outside for ball 4. So there's a leadoff walk for R.L. Chandler.
Yeah, and after checking on that score, the Bootleggers down a dozen late in that ball game over on the turf field. They're ahead of the A's by 1 game with a 12-4 record. The A's are 11-5. So a Bootleggers loss and an A's victory would have them tied on record. But the A's obviously down by 2 to the Haymakers here, so just trying to create an incentive for them to crawl back into this ball game.
Throw to first base. R.L. Chandler gets back in at first. LeBeau's still warming up in the bullpen over there down the first base line. He's awaiting to see when he'll get on board. And walking into this inning, 83 pitches so far for the pitcher Augie Cowan as he tries to check at first base again. So after the last batter, he's up to 90 pitches here. So he might be seeing the end of his day with these next few batters coming up. Oh, off speed, turns around and nails him on the outside shoulder. And that will be a walk by hit by pitch for Dylan Kakuta.
A walk and a hit by pitch to kick off this inning. We'll see if that's it for Augie Cowan and if Nathan LeBeau is going to come straight into this game, although it looks like we're going to have to wait at least one more batter as the A's center fielder and leadoff hitter Derek Thompson Jr. settles in the righty box.
So for the 3rd time today, we'll flip the lineup or the order. And Derek Thompson Jr., who is 0 for 1 today with a walk, 2 stolen bases, and a run scored. He's got a man at first and second thanks to a walk and a hit by pitch. R.L. Chandler at second, Dylan Kakuta at first. No outs here in the bottom of the 4th. That pitch is delivered. Derek Thompson Jr. shows bunt as it's stopped by Percival in the dirt.
Nice block from Percival to keep that in front of him. Both runners stay at first and second versus second and third as he's going to have to go to work here. Those 2 runners representing the tying runs.
Oh, 1 count here, or 1-0 count for Derek Thompson Jr. Cowan looks at second, still looks at it again, long pause, now he throws. Thompson rolls it over. Tomasi makes a good scoop over to first, a pretty phenomenal play, but it moves everyone over 90 feet.
That was such a nonchalant effort right there from Tomasi to get down and scoop a chopper down the third base line and throw a strike across his body to get a quick runner in Derek Thompson Jr. Both runners advance. They're both in scoring position, and a base hit can tie the game, but that's a heck of a play from your third baseman if you're a Haymaker.
Yeah, he's made that play so many times this year, and he's been very good at that third base position. Better defensively than he is a hitter so far for the Haymakers. Here's the next man up, Brady McLinn. He throws after the first pitch, pops it up in the air. The center fielder trying to track it, makes a running catch, and he brings it back in just in time. Nobody moves through on the tag up. So a good play there, and heads up from the left fielder, Holcomb.
That's a heck of a out to get right there. If you're Augie Cowan, second and third with one out. And they were able to preserve those runners from advancing. Excellent job from Cowan. Now he's just got to get one more.
Any deeper than that would have scored a run. But here's Braden Braga with a walk today. He goes after the first pitch too. He grounds it to the shortstop. Has to make a great throw, but throws over the head of the first baseman in Quezada, and that will score 2 runs off of a throwing error. What could have ended the game, and now it is tied. Braga, meanwhile, also moves 90 feet as the ball went into the photography dugout there on the first base line, so he's over there at second base.
Couple of unearned runs that come in to score for the A's to tie this ball game up.
So what could have ended the inning, it's now a tie ball game once again as the A's find their way with the help of the Haymakers defense, who have been handing them runs throughout the first couple of innings. There was an E4 and an E5 to start the ball game that scored the first run. So a lot of mistakes that they could have capitalized on, but unfortunately could not really get the job done as the first pitch is in there for strike 1 to Jeffrey Fontenot.
Yeah, and approaching that century mark for his pitch count is Augie Cowan, so I'm sure he much would have rather leave this game with a 2-run lead, but now he's got to get out of this jam, still tied.
Next pitch is fouled off by Fontenot as he keeps it alive. 0-2 count. Man at second is Braden Braga. He's over there after reaching on that error. And then with the ball getting through into the photography well, he goes to second automatically. 5-5 is a score. It seems like a weird way to put it, but the Haymakers have gotten 5 runs off of 9 hits. The A's have gotten 5 runs off of 2 hits, thanks to 3 errors by the Haymakers. 1-2 count for Jeffrey Fontenot. Next pitch on the way. Fontenot goes early, gets jammed, and fouls it off.
Yeah, got a breaking ball. He was just out in front of it as that one was coming in. He's thinking he's going to turn on that, shoot it into the 5-6 gap, and bring in that go-ahead run. Braga out there at second.
1-2 count. Just outside for ball 2. So we let off with a walk, a hit by pitch, and then a couple of outs, a ground ball, and a fly out to left field, but then an error from the shortstop Rosesco, and a few issues in the infield causes the game to get tied up again. There goes a runner, but he strikes out. Fontenot goes down on a strikeout to end the inning. So 5-5 is the score. The Haymakers and the A's continue to go back and forth as we're off to the 5th here for the PSCL.
The Management Trust is a 100% employee-owned company. Every employee has a vested interest in providing memorable experiences to every homeowner and board members of HOAs. It's a very powerful thing. No homeowners association is too small or too large for us to manage. From community maintenance services to customized absentee home care, the Management Trust provides just about every service any homeowner could ask for.
Hi, I'm Damien with the Management Trust. We're a community management built differently for your homeowners association. To find out how, give me a call.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Quality first. It's quite a philosophy to live by. But world-class ingredients are the foundation of great meals. And we wouldn't have it any other way. At Kaiser Grill in downtown Palm Springs, we believe you deserve the best. So whether it's dinner for 2 or a celebration with 200 friends. Quality is our promise to you, because quality is king. Quality is Kaiser.
So Makoadet still remains in his third inning of work. Still a 5-5 ball game. As it looked like the A's went up, the Haymakers come back, and then the A's come back through again. It's been back and forth. That's been the story of the game. 37, 29, 15. Jace Bicari, Owen McGuinn, and Trey Quezada are the next men up to lead off here in the top of the fifth inning. 0-1 count already for Jace Bicari. That's fouled off. 0-2 count.
Yeah, nice swing right there from Bicari. Just got underneath that fastball top of the zone. He was able to get on top of it. That's a line drive up the middle.
That's a well-hit ball to center field. Derek Thompson Jr. tracing it and routing it up for the catch. Another example why you put a speedy center fielder like that in center field.
Yeah, great jump off the swing from Thompson Jr. out there in center. Another good swing from Bicari. He just got underneath that. And as it hung up out there in center for Thompson Jr., good read out there in center.
Owen McGuinn's the next man up, the all-star representative for the Haymakers. Goes after the first pitch and grounds it. Picked up by Beltran to first to get the out. So one pitch, one out. And now there's two gone and away here in the top of the fifth.
Yeah, Makoadet continuing to throw strikes. That has not been the issue. He's thrown 40 pitches. 32 of them have been strikes. Granted, a lot of those may or may not have been off the plate. There were 6 hits that he allowed in the last inning, but partly because he's just been going out there and throwing strikes, the Haymakers were able to put the bat on the ball consistently in the fourth, but he's got 2.
First pitch swinging again. It's grounded to the second baseman. He puts it right to his chest and throws the first for the final out. So that's 5 pitches in this inning, and Makoadet gets through a quick one here.
That's about as much as you can ask for out of your guy. Trying to breeze through this ball game. A 5-pitch inning for Makoadet and the A's.
Much different than the previous half inning where he gave up a total of 6 hits and 29 pitches, excuse me. And he keeps it a 5-5 ball game as we're off to the bottom of the fifth.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $27.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Landscaping,
4.5 innings we've gone through. It's still 5-5 here on the PSEL YouTube channel. Justin Lee alongside Zachary Durham between the Haymakers and the A's. New pitcher on the mound is Nathan LeBeau after taking over for Augie Count, who went for 4 innings. He'll face off against the 5, 6, 7 spots. Blake Browning, Ethan Beltran, and Gilbert Casio will be facing off here against the new Haymakers pitcher to see if he can hold off the A's here.
Brandon McCoy-Death for the A's just had a 5-pitch inning. We'll see if LeBeau can one-up that.
That's in there for strike one. Off to a good start here against the A's.
He comes in relief for Augie Cowan, who went 4 innings pitched, only allowed 2 hits, 5 runs, but 2 of them were earned. Walked 7 guys, hit 1, struck out 3. He threw 99 pitches to 24 A's batters before bringing in the new guy. It's LeBeau.
And those walks, those 7 in total, and then 3 errors have been kind of the difference, as the Haymakers have been kind of shooting themselves in the foot here in some of these situations. And a swing and a miss from Blake Browning to make it a 1-2 count. So every time the Haymakers go up, it seems like the A's come back with those mistakes drawn by the Haymakers. They've made a few infield errors so far this season as the next pitch is delivered inside and rolls away from the catcher. 2-2 count.
Yeah, only 2 of those 5, partly because of a few errors within the infield. One of them allowed 2 runs to score to make it a 5-3 ball game.
That's low in the lefty batter's box. That's a full count to start off for Blake Browning, who today is 1 for 1 with an RBI double and a walk. He chokes up on the bat, pay off, got a piece of it, line to left center field, 2 defenders going after it, and it is dropped by the left fielder. And Blake Browning, for the 2nd time today, has another double.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, right into the gap. Left fielder's going onto it. He's able to get a glove on it, but kind of lost it in the sun as it happened. But regardless, there's a runner on second to kick off this inning, representing the go-ahead run.
It seemed like the way that the left fielder in Holcomb was coming around to make that catch, he just misjudged it, and it actually did touch his glove, so likely an error on that play. He gets replaced, though. Blake Browning is replaced by number 15.
Yeah, that's Logan LeBell, pinch running out there. He's been the courtesy runner to this point thus far.
So he's there at second base for Blake Browning after the outfield error. That one is well hit to right field. Stays up in the air, though. And by Carey camps under it. There goes LeBell tagging up on the run. A good throw from the outfield. Yes, he does. Logan LeBell gets struck down. And just like that, 2 outs with the throw by Carey.
What a throw out there by Jace Bikari. Normally he's playing catcher, throwing out runners, trying to steal bases, not take the extra 90 feet. As we mentioned, he's in right field for a reason, and it's because of that strong throwing arm, getting the guy out at third. What a huge out that was, as the go-ahead run was already in scoring position, trying to take the extra 90 feet and gun down doing so.
The Haymakers defense now starting to tighten up a little bit. Here's the first pitch delivered to Gilbert Casio with 2 outs here in this half inning. And thanks to their right fielder by Carey, he made a great defensive play, getting a 9-5 double play essentially with the pop fly and then striking down Logan LeBell on the tag up. The next pitch is in the dirt for a 2-0 count. And he laid that one in perfectly. He just rolled it in on one hop to his third baseman, Tomasi, and they both made a great play to take out the lead runner.
Yeah, perfectly hopped off of that first bounce. Didn't go too high, right into the path of the slide from LaBelle.
So quickly a 3-0 count here for Gilbert Casio, who is still yet to get a hit. He already has a walk and grounded into a double play. Next pitch on the way. It's right down Main Street for strike one.
Yeah, with nobody on, had the 3-0 red light. I'm sure if there was one out and a runner on second and a 3-0 count, he might have had the green light to take a hack at it.
And he goes after that pitch on the 3-1 count and rolls it to right field in an oppo single with 2 outs.
Just the third hit of the game for the A's. Doesn't matter. Oh, as that one squirts away. He thought about taking the extra base, but holds at first as the throw back into LeBeau was a little errant. But a 2-out base hit keeps the inning alive for the A's and Andrew Carnes.
So Andrew Carnes, who is 0 for 2 today, he was robbed of a hit. There's a pinch runner coming in, by the way, for Gilbert Casio. It looks like it's number 2, Jackson Call. He'll take over for Gilbert Casio over there at first base. Yeah, he got robbed of a hit with a sliding grab from the right fielder by Kari. So he's made a lot of defensive plays today so far for the Haymakers, and he has been able to reduce what could have been many extra runs for the A's here so far as the first pitch is delivered for ball 1.
I could almost guarantee that Jace Bikari has the highest defensive runs saved in the PSCL this year. Not just in this game alone. His defense has been a standout point all season long, and the first bit of action that I've been able to witness him out in the outfield, he has been stellar with a diving grab and a strong throwing arm.
Next pitch is in there for ball 2, 2-0 count. And Bikari has been the talk of some of the broadcasters here up in the booth and in prior games with his defensive ability. It is unfortunate, though, that he is not considered an all-star this season for the PSCL, but he's definitely up there with a few as the pitch was fouled to Andrew Carnes, and it looks like he got a piece of Percival as he rests up a little bit and tries a reset. He's down on his knees right now.
Yeah, he was walking a little gingerly there. Home plate umpire is going to give him some time to take a breather. He looks fine, though. He's ready to go.
Bikari hasn't been too bad on offense by all means. 6 hits, a double, a triple, 6 RBIs, 2 stolen bags. Just wasn't enough to convince the coaches to get him into that spot.
He's not going to get that Denard Span treatment, that Andrelton Simmons treatment, where they sneak in just because of how great their defense is.
One of those underrated traits as it's floated in for strike 2, 2-2 count for Andrew Carnes.
Yeah, I think people forget how important defense is to the game of baseball.
Extremely important. The pitch is outside for ball 3. 3-2 count now for Andrew Carnes. Yeah, we've seen the way that the Angels have been able to change and flip their defensive ability with guys like Christian Moore and Zach Neto and see how important it is to have defense. And you see with the pitchers that they have, a lot of ground ball pitchers, as it's lined to right center field. It's going to fall in and go travel even farther. 1 run is turning around from third. It's Jackson Call. He scores to get the go-ahead run in, and it's a RBI single turned into a double for Andrew Carnes to take the lead here, 6-5.
Nice piece of hitting. Hits that one into the right center gap. Right, perfectly splitting the center and right fielder. Good base running from Cosio to go first to home for the go-ahead run of this ball game.
So thanks to this 4th hit of the game for the A's, Andrew Carnes drives in the go-ahead run. They have the lead now with 2 outs here in bottom of the 5th inning. A very clutch hit indeed from Andrew Carnes. 5-6 is your score. Again, it's still a very lopsided scoreboard, 5-6. 5 runs off of 9 hits for the Haymakers, 6 runs off of 4 hits for the A's. That first pitch is delivered for strike 1 here to R.L. Chandler, who led off the last half inning, able to get on board with a walk and then score a run off of that error back in the last half inning. Next pitch delivered, strike 2. 0-2 count.
Right at the knees with that fastball from LeBeau. That's where you want that fastball to live at.
On the way. Big swing and a miss from R.O. Chandler. That will settle the side. But a run does come around for the A's as they're up 6-5 now. They take back the lead. We're going to the 6th in crunch time here at Palm Springs Stadium. We'll be back here in just a few. Here for the top of the 6th inning, Brandon McCoa-Death, who was able to work through with 5 pitches to get a 1-2-3 inning the last time he was out. Getting himself a better half inning, he'll face off against the 6, 7, 8 guys, Nathan LeBeau, Dominic Tomasi, and Evan Percival. First pitch in there for a ball. This is not Nathan LeBeau, excuse me. This currently is number 38.
Yeah, it's going to be Augie Cowan, who got the start on the mound. Comes in to replace the extra hitter in the lineup as LeBeau's now on the mound. And Cowan is now at the plate.
So it's a straight switch somewhat. Augie Cowan, who was on the mound to start the game, is now hitting. And LeBeau was on the mound when he was hitting. So 2-1 count here for Augie Cowan. That is just outside for ball 3.
Good breaking ball from McCoa-Death. A lot of break on it, just not enough placement over the plate to fool the hitter and get him to chase.
And that caught the upstairs part of the strike zone, 3-2. Cowan wanted to head to first base, what he thought was a walk. And now he pieces this one to right field. Browning backs up, makes the catch.
Yeah, what a difference that 5th pitch, the call on that 5th pitch would have been. Looked like it was ball 4, instead called for strike 2. And he's got to go up and swing the bat one more time and flares it into right field for the first out.
So it wasn't as quick as the last inning, as McCoa-Death is already over his pitch count from the last half inning. Dominic Tomasi comes up to bat, 1 for 2. He goes swinging and misses on the first pitch.
Fastball at the knees, just trying to challenge these haymaker hitters in a 1-run game.
Next pitch looks like it almost cut the outside edge of the strike zone, but no call from the umpire, 1-1 count.
A for effort on the frame job from Dylan Kakuda.
You'd love to see it. 1-1 count. McCoa-Death tries to curve it in, but stays outside or stays inside for ball 2. Next one on the way, rolls it over and takes it foul for an even 2-2 count. So if you just joined us, we're in a 6-5 ball game. The A's are up 6 runs with 4 hits. The Haymakers are behind 5 runs to 9 hits so far. A bit of a lopsided game so far for both sides. The A's have been handed runs almost seemingly on a golden platter. And Dominic Tomasi goes after a pitch in the dirt as he's tagged out by the catcher Kakuda, and he's down on a strikeout.
Final over there on the turf field, 17-4 victory for the Blue Sox over the Bootleggers.
What a roll by the Blue Sox over the Bootleggers in that game. One of the more high-scoring games. Not as close as 21-10, though.
I don't think we'll beat 21-10.
There's 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. The first pitch is in the dirt to Evan Percival.
So the Blue Sox are now 8-9. The Bootleggers are 12-5. A win here for the A's would also put them at 12-5.
Fouled off and out of play.
Both of those teams a game behind the Jacks at 13-3. And they had an off day today, so
this will basically be a race to the finish for both the A's and the Bootleggers and the Jacks, as that one catches the outside corner for strike 2. The Bootleggers do have the better run differential, though, so they'd have the favor right now over the A's if the A's cannot come away with a win here. And strike 3 looking for Evan Percival. That's another 1-2-3 inning for Brandon McCoa Death. So McCoa Death holding off the Haymakers. Looks like there's a pause here. I think they're going to end the game. Yeah, they're calling it right here as we were over the time limit. We started at 11:45. It just hit 146, and it looks like they're going to call the game here. So the A's come away with a crucial victory, 6-5. They win with 4 hits, 6 runs. The Haymakers, 9 hits, 5 runs with 4 errors. As the A's come up with a very big win to bring themselves up right next to the Bootleggers.
yeah, what a crazy scoreline. Box scores aren't going to tell you everything about how a baseball game goes. Obviously, the A's winning this one 6-5, but they were out hit 9-4. They'll take the W any way they can as they improve to 12-5, and the Haymakers fall to 5-10-1.
So the Haymakers still trying to hold on to where they are in the standings. They dropped to 5-10-1 on the season. They're still in front of the Coyotes, but the A's get a pretty big win here. We're still getting very close to the end of the season here, and we'll see what transpires with the next few games before the July 4th game on this Friday with the Fireworks Spectacular coming up. But make sure you tune in tonight for the Power Game as they take on the Colton Nighthawks at 7 p.m. But for all of us here, my name is Justin Lee, alongside Zachary Durham here for the PSCL. And to all of our friends and family at home, we say good afternoon from Palm Springs.